Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is freeing ourselves from rotten, dark energies and entities possessing people, as well as basically empty, unfulfilled people that are so full of pain and so unhealed that they're like hollow or empty inside in a way. And that shall be represented by these two massive industrial toilet paper rolls. Well, empty ones, right? Like they had these massive rolls, right? And I have two candles here, two small ones. Oh, excuse me. My voice has been a little under attack today. So I want to light these two candles inside them. Well, I'm gonna like put these rolls over again. So each of them shall represent one of the two dark ones that have had an issue with me and are throwing their emotional garbage and vomit at me, basically. Also represented by the relish. But I'll get into that story in a minute. There was a situation with one of them. I have also two regular rolls here for portal closings, and I happen to actually have like everything in twos, right? Also like twine, so for any cord cutting. And actually I had put one away, but I even had 2 bags of salt, and I thought, nah, that's crazy, I'll just put one there. But now as I'm talking about the two, how I had everything in twos, I feel I should actually use one for each of these two people that I have in mind for tonight's ceremony. However, there was another person that unfortunately I had to cut off, and I really didn't want to because I really liked her. She was a really good friend of mine, and I still care about her. But after hanging out with her last weekend, I worked for a few hours after that without properly clearing all the energies, and that ended up basically costing me my car door. And I asked my spirit guides, like I was shown even before I reconnected with her, that she had missed my light, and that usually refers to siphoning. But I never felt like drained when I hung out with her, so I was like, well, you know, like maybe that's just a message saying that she misses my positivity and whatever, and I'm happy to like provide some of that for her, you know. But then I was given more signs, and even like after I asked if there was any other way rather than cutting her off completely, if there was any way for me to like completely like stop and block those dark influences that her lack of spiritual hygiene had on me. But then it got to the point this week that Saturday morning I was like, okay, I've been in lack energies all week, and I've had chaos energies, even though I got rid of like the big chunk of it, but they were still kind of lingering. And that negative stuff, I'm certain brought on the other situation that I want to deal with here. Anyway, to make a long story short, so the shark energies that were coming from her, I already, you know, killed the shark energies at home a few days ago, and I want to put that in the fire. That was sort of what kickstarted all of this. But then this morning I found a rotten apple in my fruit basket, and I cut it up and flushed it down the toilet. And I actually want to have the rotten stuff represented by this wood, because like the center is starting to go really soft, which is usually like when wood starts rotting, right? Unfortunately, I have to MacGyver a little bit. I don't have anything better representing the rotten part, but this will burn beautifully, so it's perfect for the fire. And sometimes we can just assign something, right? So then I got to my car this morning. Oh, yes, and actually, after sending off the message, so when I say this morning, I mean Saturday, even though it's actually early Sunday morning now, but for me it's Saturday night because I haven't gone to bed yet. Anyway, so when I started working, the energies were really good and they felt more abundant again after I had, you know, cut off that friend. But before that, like when I got to my car, as I got outside, right, and I got to my car, there was excrement next to the front end of my car, which was actually on the side where the tire was fairly flat, and I reinflated it later. But right away I knew that somebody had dumped their emotional shit onto my car, and I thought it was black witchcraft, which I'm certain was a part of it, because that was the whole thing why I had the problem with my car door earlier in the week, which was like Sunday night, early Monday morning hours. And I'm still waiting for the replacement. But sorry, my brain is going a little weird. I think I'm getting a little bit of like something trying to stop me from actually saying the stuff that's been happening. Okay, so once I started like working, I started smelling this smell of like rotten eggs, and I thought it was coming from the emissions of my car, like from the exhaust, because I know like my engine light has been on for a little while, and my mechanic checked it, and he said from what he can tell, like it's a minor problem, but he wanted to send me to a specialist that I was just saving up for. And the smell was getting so bad, and also inside the cabin. Although I had to keep the window partially open also, because otherwise I couldn't open my car door. My mechanic MacGyvered something, so I had to reach out and open it from the outside. But the smell was in the cabin and outside my car, and for half a day I thought, oh my gosh, like my car is getting so bad, I'm gonna have to get rid of it. How am I gonna buy a new one? So like worry started to seep in there, and I know that's exactly what the dark ones want to do to us, right? So I was like, okay, you know, like focus on the positive stuff, do the affirmations, and like as the day went on, I was getting myself into a better space again, until it finally dawned on me that the smell, I even got some reactions from people that like turned away with disgust when they passed my car, and I actually found it kind of amusing, but I actually had a big headache for a while too, and sorry, I lost my train of thought. See, like there is some interference still going on. Where was my story? So basically I realized when I parked the car and I came back 10 minutes later, that horrible rotten egg smell, that odor was still there. And if it's really just the emissions, if it's the car exhaust, if the car is parked and you come back 10 minutes later, that wouldn't still be there. And the smell was like outside and inside the car 10 minutes later. So it didn't make any sense, and it finally dawned on me that I think one of these or both of these dark ones that we're doing this for, or who triggered this, so that it applies to all of you as well who are in situations like these where we need to get rid of those kind of energies. And see, there's already a bug. I actually don't know what they're called in English. Keller, Assel. Keller is basement, and Assel is a type of like bug. That's the German term for it. So, because they're often like in basements or under rocks and stuff, right? Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. Oh shoot, sorry. So basically, oh yes, sorry. I thought that one or two of them had placed a what we called stinking bomb, or like something that would start the stink in my car, either underneath it or in the exhaust or somewhere where it would like release. And it's like, since I drive all day, the smell got worse as the day went on. And when my day was almost finished, like as the day continued, after the worst intensity, it slowly started improving again and getting better. And I mean, I was doing my like black magic reversal stuff and banishing and whatever. Also, like I was also singing a song there. Actually, there's a really great one on YouTube, Spell of Healing and Protection. Actually, I think he posted it as Song of Healing and Protection, because I did a different version of that, but I couldn't remember all the lyrics because it was a while ago. So it's from the British Druid Society or something like this. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure you can find it if you check. If I remember, I'll link it or like put the link below. But no guarantees right now, sorry. Okay, anyway, so the situation was 2 nights ago. I came home at 3:30 in the morning after doing a fire ceremony here at night. And there was this big fat Mercedes parked in my spot, and there wasn't enough room in the front or in the back for me to park. So I had to park on the store side. I live above a store. And then, of course, in the morning, the store people would come and I would be in the way there and blocking them, right? And I paid for my parking, and I was certain that it was a visitor of my one upstairs neighbor. But they didn't answer the door. And my other neighbor, we are all total night owls in the building, so I knew. So I texted him saying, "This is not one of your visitors, is it?" And he said no. So I knew and managed to sleep after. I haven't been this annoyed and pissed off in a really long time, because I'm not usually the angry type. But when I get home and I can't even park my car, and it's some entitled young punk, I'm sorry, I'm totally judging right now, but yeah, that kind of made me lose my cool for a little bit. So I couldn't sleep right away, right? Eventually, I managed to fall asleep, and then I heard footsteps at 6:30 in the morning, and someone carefully trying to open the door at the bottom. So I stuck my head out the window, and I said, "Is that your car?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's my spot, and I'm paying for it. You're lucky I didn't get your car towed last night." And he apologized in what seemed like a very sincere way. So I thought it was all good and done until that stench in my car today. And when it finally dawned on me that it was totally petty, passive, aggressive. Oh, and here's another big bug. See, like there's still total astral parasites in the system. I knew that it was this petty, passive-aggressive need for revenge, lashing out at someone when they were actually the ones doing wrong in the first place. And that was confirmed this evening when I witnessed a woman driving a pickup truck almost hitting a pedestrian crossing the street. And the pedestrian had a green light, and she was trying to make a right turn. And that woman started yelling at the pedestrian. And I almost stopped and yelled at her. And then I was like, I think this scene was just brought to me to actually show me the ridiculousness of how insanely unhealed people are nowadays, and how a lot of it is coming out now. And what needs to be healed is this blaming the victim, so blame shifting, and lashing out on others or at others when they are actually the ones who did wrong in the first place, right? So that's basically what I want to do here with this ceremony. And this shall apply to any similar situation that you have where you're dealing with someone vindictive, vicious, thirsty for revenge, lashing out when they were actually in the wrong, but they feel they have the right to lash out at us. Excuse us for calling them on their stuff, right? So that's the background story of tonight's ceremony. And I know we've all dealt with people like that. And I think this has become a really big problem in society. I believe it has to do with people being raised without a lot of boundaries, or maybe with no boundaries. So I believe we have a whole generation of narcissists now. I mean, we live in the age of narcissism. So like boundaries are a big issue that a lot of, especially, and I'm sorry if I'm generalizing here, this can apply to anyone, but I'm observing it more in the younger generation. There are issues of a lack of boundaries, let's say. I've even worked in a workplace that was run by millennials, and they had insanely strict punishment for something that 20 years ago would have just basically been the boss saying, hey, you got to make sure you're on time, rather than a ridiculously rigid system that fires people if they're late 3 times, right? So, yeah, so we need to heal from all of that. And I think the way we can heal from it, like aside from like doing ceremonies like this and inner child healing, of course, and whatnot, but I think also this whole vindictiveness and this crazy need for revenge and like passive aggressive revenge is coming from a place of not expressing emotions in the moment, in the situation. Because when I was growing up in Germany, we expressed things openly and directly. Yes, there were people who were out for revenge and were vindictive as well. And, like people are people. But generally speaking, since people were more direct when there was something bothering them, and then even if it escalated and both people were yelling and whatever, but then it was out, and usually there wasn't such a passive-aggressive backlash afterwards. So as much as I love Canadian society, and it was so good for my emotional healing to have more kindness and compassion and understanding and support in so many ways, I think we need to find a healthy balance between expressing our emotions, but not doing it in a blunt and hurtful way, but doing it in a productive and supportive way. So for me, that's a balance between the two cultures that are in me, right? And I'm sure you can all relate to it in one way or another, that you may know people from a culture that you're close to, maybe, who is the other way, or so on. Anyway, I think I've pretty much said everything that I needed to do for the intro here. So the shark I explained, the stuff I explained, the rotten stuff. And yeah, we got the salt and everything. Okay, so let's get started properly. Let's smudge with sage today. I feel like this is kind of heavy stuff. Now, I was just holding my phone with this hand and it feels almost a little bit numb. Oh, yes, and I forgot to mention. So all day, I feel like there was a bit of an attack on my throat in the sense of like strangling, suffocating, and like basically I felt like somebody wanted to see me unalive, right? So it's like my bag kept, the strap of my bag kept slipping over my neck and I felt almost strangled. And then that smell, that rotten egg smell was so strong that I felt I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe properly. So there's definitely like a strong element. And I've also like, even now, like in the park, and I often get that when I have very opposing energies. As I'm getting the stuff ready for the ceremony, when they're very forceful, controlling, kind of suffocating energies, I feel kind of asthmatic, like heavy breathing, like it's hard to breathe, right? Like I can, but it's like, it's restricted somehow, right? It's not free. So that's all been going on. So we're definitely dealing with like nasty energies again. Oh, and one more thing. As I was pulling out this one, like the other one, there was already a bit out, so this one was easy. So one of them, and I suspect it's probably my neighbor who is more the easygoing one. That was my impression. And the other guy is more out for revenge, but I think my neighbor might have helped him with the stuff. Anyway. So when I pulled this out, a whole bunch came out again, and I was getting the sense of emotional vomit that I was pulling out until I could actually find where this all ended. So that's why I added the relish there, because I usually use the relish for emotional vomit, right? So yeah, so this emotional stuff, like, bleh, it was just kind of coming out. Okay, anyway, here we have the smudging. So, let's take a deep breath and get into the zone. Please cleanse and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, evil, and low vibrational, and flood us with massive amounts of healing light, unconditional love, blessings, and protections from the divine. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right. Dear Creator, Higher Power, Source and Soul Energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, dear Mother Earth, Great Spirit of the Fire, as well as the other three elements, air, earth, and water. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, banishings, and protections with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I feel the energy is already getting better. It's shifting. Okay, so let these two heavy-duty industrial paper rolls be the representation of these two dark ones that are just empty inside, that have been so hurt that they're not in touch with their own inner light, with the divinity within them, and we shall reignite it with these two candles. So let's start with that. And after they burn for a little bit, at the end of all this stuff, I'm going to put that in the fire. But I want to make sure they burn first. Oh, wait, this one's very uneven. Here, that's better. Okay. Oops. My finger's getting hot. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, and of course, if in your case it's 1 or 3 or a different number, it doesn't have to be 2. It shall apply to any and all people in our lives that are dark and unhealed, very hurt, very traumatized, damaged, that have lost their connection to their own inner divinity and to the divine outside of themselves as well. Their light shall be reignited within them, and they shall find their way out of their darkness that they're in. They shall find their way to the light, and they shall heal from the center of their being, from their core that is now reignited. That divine spark, the divine light, shall spread from their heart space throughout their whole body, mind, spirit, soul, and energy field, and shall affect them karmically in all aspects, throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect them and us, dealing with them in this lifetime and moving forward. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And as part of their healing process, especially the one with the insane thirst and need of vicious, passive-aggressive revenge, shall be disconnected from that toxicity. Any and all cords, bonds, shackles, chains, leashes, portals, gateways, vows, soul contracts, and any and all other connections, karmic and otherwise, that have kept him, them, her, whatever applies to your situation, connected to the dark, and that vindictiveness, that need for revenge, shall now and forever be cut, severed, and finished, and fully and completely removed from their lives. All of that shall be put into the fire, burnt away, and transmuted and healed. It shall be transmuted into love and light and returned to source energy for reintegration. Oh, all their vindictive, evil, I almost want to say bloodthirsty, their need for revenge is now burning away and transmuting into love and light. Oh, whew. And with that, if we carry any of that within us, it shall also burn away and be transmuted into love and light and returned to source energy for reintegration. And the same thing shall be done for the other one in this duo that I was dealing with, where it's not that bad, but that person shall also fully and completely be disconnected from all that dark need for revenge and vindictiveness, passive-aggressive behavior, and all of that. And that shall be applied to body, mind, spirit, soul, and energy field throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us and them in this lifetime and moving forward. And so it is, and karmically. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. And for both of them, any portals and gateways that have allowed them access to us shall be closed and removed. Again, throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Okay, let me pick up those closed portals. And second, and I feel that's a good moment to... Wow, what is that stuff? I didn't see. Oh, I think that must be from the bottom of the fireworks thing that I burned the other day here. Okay, so let's put the portal closing stuff in here. Okay, so that's burning away here. And this is a good time for the relish. That any and all emotional vomit shall be put into the fire to be healed and transmuted and returned to source energy for reintegration. Oof. Let it all come out. You know what? I feel like this all needs to go in, but since the bottle's fairly empty now, I'm actually just going to remove the lid and just put the rest in like this. Okay, that's it. Whew. Okay, the bottle. Wow, that was a Freudian slip. The body's empty now. The body's empty of that emotional vomit stuff. Yeah, that's it. So the bottle's empty, representing the body of those dark unhealed ones. Wow, that was a good one. Whew, whoo, whoo. Yeah, I love it. Okay, that's done. Then for both of them, so the left one first, let us banish all that dark stuff. So that's one. Then the other one, I'm going to go over here for that. Oh, that's not open yet. Give me 1 second. No, it was. It just didn't want to come out. Huh, interesting. Let all that dark stuff be banished out of their lives as well as ours. And let any and all of those rotten cores and emotions be burnt away in the fire. Great Spirit of the fire, please burn away and transmute any of that emotionally rotten stuff, any of that karmically toxic and rotten stuff, and anything that then starts affecting other parts and aspects of our lives. Anything that is rotten shall be transmuted into love and light and returned to source energy for reintegration. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh, wow. Whew. And any and all shark energies, connected or not, to either the same people or that might be coming at us from other people. Any and all shark energies shall now and forever be banished from our lives as well. And again, that shall be applied to body, mind, spirit, soul, energy field, and karmically throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh, wow. Whew. Okay. Whew. Oh. Whew. And in case any of these dark ones still want to come at us, because their healing may take, well, it will take some time. If they still want to keep coming at us, we ask for divine intervention, justice, and protection from those dark unhealed ones. Let divine justice be done, and let us be fully and completely protected, safe, shielded, and protected, and we are massively loved and supported. Let them receive their full-blown instant karma and divine punishment for all their evil deeds, and make them understand why they're getting it and what they need to do, what they need to change in their lives to start having better karma and to start having better lives. And so it is. All my relations. Whew. Oh. Okay, so let those empty vessels now be filled with the divine light and finish healing through the great spirit of the fire. So we're going to put all of this in the fire to finish healing through transmutation. And we're going to add these little candles right in there. The fire's going to burn real good in a moment. Here's one. And, sorry, I can't put it quite inside. Here's, oh, the other one. Ah, here we go. And the wick of the other one actually got stuck here, so I'll put that in there too. Whoops. Where did that go? I think it fell down there. Oh yeah, it's down there. I'll have to fish that out if it doesn't burn. Oh, and here too. Oh, I got it. Okay. Whew. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's still sort of that, what I'm sensing is that they're trying to make our mind kind of blank. It's not quite brain fog, but it's sort of like wiping it clean, like having it blank, like a blank mind. So we don't have a lot of thoughts. We can't remember what we wanted to say, that kind of stuff. That is still kind of happening a little bit. Let us fully and completely heal from that again. We're taking back our power, our strength. Oh, thank you. Ha, good confirmation. It was the power That was the important thing. We're taking back our power, and that includes our power to think. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Whew. All right. It feels like this is actually it. So, for some reason, I feel like what we need is the bell. In a lot of religions too, they use bells, right? So that is a very, and I mean in meditation, in a lot of different practices around the world, bells are very important for connecting with the divine. And I love this one because it has the little hearts on there, right? I just put like elastics around because it was a bit slippery, I find. So. All right. Okay, let's take one deep breath. Breath in, breathing in the divine, pure divine love light energy. And let us breathe out any and all remnants and remaining dark, energetic leftovers in our body. Let us breathe it out. Wow, and the screen just went kind of whitish. That was cool. So it is, all my relations. Okay, let the ceremony now be finished and accept our love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. And so it is, all my relations, all our relations. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of the ceremony, and for working on your own healing. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love and light, many blessings, and be well until next time. Bye.